Welcome back to the Wonsulting YouTube channel. My name is Javier, co-founder here at Wonsulting, and today we are going to talk about how do you answer what are your biggest weaknesses? This is one of those classic interview questions where they ask you, it's very easy to misconstrue it. When I was in college, I had gone to an interview preparation workshop, and one of the presenters actually said, whenever you're asked, what is your biggest weakness? Make sure you tell them something that can be spun into a positive. And I thought to myself, okay. I remember I went to a phone interview for a consulting firm that I was interviewing for, and the interviewer asked something along the lines of, what are areas that you want to improve? And I remember the classic example that made the recruiter roll their eyes was, I'm too much of a perfectionist. And as soon as I said that, the recruiter went, you could literally see the recruiter's eyes roll, and I thought to myself, my lord, I just messed up. Needless to say, I did not get the second round interview, and this is what I've learned now being a hiring manager and helping people get into their dream jobs of how you can answer the question, what are your biggest weaknesses? The reasons why recruiters ask this question is they want to understand, are you aware of your strengths, which most people are aware of, but are you also aware of the areas of improvement that you have? The biggest mistake that you can make is giving the answer of, I'm too good, I'm too organized, I can't say no. You want to be able to point out a constructive area in which you are actively learning and trying to improve. For example, after my role at Google, I was asked the question of, what's one area of feedback that your managers have given you that you're still working on today? Which is another way of asking, what is your biggest weakness? At the time, the biggest weakness that I had in my previous feedback sessions with my manager at Google at the time was they wanted me to learn how to prioritize better. And what that means is I typically take on too much and I'm not able to complete these projects on time, all at the same time. So my manager always told me, listen, take on less, do more, because I'd rather you go 100% in 2 projects rather than being 50% on 5. So when I explained that to the recruiter understood, we went back and forth, and that's how we gave it. As you're thinking about how you can structure your answer, here's a template that I recommend that can be broken down into 3 pieces. Step 1, you want to clearly identify one area that you're currently working on that is either a hard or a soft skill. A hard skill could be something like, I'm learning to be better at Microsoft Excel so I can learn to be a better analyst. A soft skill could be something like, I'm learning to manage projects that have more than 5 stakeholders involved. And make sure this is something that you're actually working on. Step 2, once you share what your answer is, it might be, I want to be better at Microsoft Excel. You want to explain why that's a weakness for you. So for example, if Microsoft Excel is a weakness for you and you're actively working on and improving that skill, you might want to say something along the lines of, my biggest area of weakness is Microsoft Excel. For me, growing up, I was never a numbers person and math never came easy to me. As a result, I'm being proactive in trying to identify the areas of development that I have with Excel so I could become a better analyst. The third step of the answer that you always want to give is you always want to share what you're doing about it. So going back to the Microsoft Excel example, you want to say, I was never comfortable with numbers growing up. So what I'm doing today is I'm taking on very analytics-driven projects at work, and I'm also taking an Excel course on Coursera. By being able to structure answers in 3 ways, sharing your weakness, why that's your weakness, and what you're doing to improve that weakness, that's how you have a perfect answer. And remember, nobody's perfect. Everyone has those areas of opportunities. And yes, even Elon Musk, even Sundar Pichai, they all have areas of improvement. So by sharing areas that you're focused on, you're showing that you have a high level of EQ, not exposing yourself. The only caveat here is if your role requires Microsoft Excel, you probably don't want to say, my biggest weakness is Microsoft Excel. So to sum it all up, be comfortable sharing your weakness. Talk about why that's a weakness, and most importantly, what you're doing to improve it. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it, make sure you click the like button and the subscribe button. It really helps let us know what videos we should make next. And with that, I'll see you next time. Peace.